Welcome to r/IDontWorkHereLady, where we share stories about folks that are mistaken for employees by irate customers. And the first story is, Karen tries to order pizza from me while I'm eating pizza myself, then refuses to believe I don't work there. For context, I work at a bakery chain that has a bright blue polo shirt and khaki-colored pants as the uniform, with the bakery's logo embroidered on one of the sleeves. Coming home from work on the bus, there's a small plaza at the stop before mine that has some pretty bomb pizza, and every once in a while I'll stop by the plaza to grab some and walk the rest of the way home. The uniform there is a fire truck red t-shirt with the logo completely covering the back, and black pants. If someone can tell me how Karen got this mixed up, I would love to know. The cast is myself, me, Pizza Girl, PG, Manager M, and Karen K. Anyway, here's the story. On this great day, I was running on 3 to 4 hours of sleep, a cheese croissant and coffee, had just gotten off an 8 o'clock to 15 o'clock shift, and hadn't had time to grab lunch while on break. So suffice to say I was hungry. Hungry enough that I didn't even care that I was still in my work uniform. I just wanted some food pronto. So I stopped by the pizza parlor, grabbed a slice, some Mountain Dew, and a cookie for the road, and sat down a happy customer. I had my headphones in and was scrolling through my phone while I ate, when the staff disappeared behind the counter. No biggie. About a minute later, Karen walks in. It was just me in the place at the time, and the staff was still in the kitchen. The most attention I gave her was a quick glance before looking back to my phone and taking another sip of my pop. I assumed she would just go up to the counter and order, like a normal person, but I assumed wrong. Before I knew it, she was standing right beside my table and giving me that good old disapproving stare only Karens are capable of. This was our interaction as follows. Me, taking an earbud out and lowering my volume. Can I help you? Karen, hi, can I get a… starts listing her order. Me, catching on pretty quickly. Oh, sorry, but I don't work here. Karen, pauses as if this information was too large of a worldview shift for her to process, and in the end her brain could just not compute. Karen, first, don't interrupt me. That's very rude. Second, that's a uniform. This is an establishment. I know you work here, so don't give me that attitude. The logic of this Karen made my own brain short-circuit, and I guess it showed on my face, because the next thing I knew, her jaw dropped in shock and she was railing me on my horrendous work ethic, and berating me over wearing headphones on the job and eating all the product that's meant for the customers. She even went as far as to say that I'd made a huge mistake, as she was a regular and had more than enough leeway to get me fired. Side note, if she was a regular, she would have known what the uniform looked like, shaking my head. It was around this point that I remembered the logo on my sleeve and just wordlessly turned my arm and pointed at it. Karen stops yelling long enough to give it a proper look, and I could see the color just drain from her face. I'm a petty little SH though, so to rub salt into the wound, I tacked on a not-so-friendly, see that? Company name? What was this place called again? Then not 2 seconds later, an actual staff member shows up behind Karen and asks if there's a problem. I thought that was the end of it. Karen, yes, there's a problem. Your coworker was extremely rude to me. Yup, that's right. Karen was still insisting that I work there. Pizza Girl looks at me and recognizes me as the girl she just served. Pizza Girl, ma'am, she doesn't work here. Karen, don't lie to me. I want to see a manager. Pizza Girl goes to get her manager. All the while, Karen is giving me the snobbiest death glare I've ever gotten in my life. I just sighed and took another sip of my pop. Then Pizza Girl and her manager come back out. Manager, hi, what's the problem here? Karen, that girl refused to take my order and was extremely rude to me. You need to discipline her. Manager, same as Pizza Girl, looks at me and knows I don't work for her. She doesn't work here, ma'am, but I can take your order if you like. Finally, Karen leaves me alone and follows the manager to place her order. I could hear her complaining about me though, so I started packing up my things to eat my pizza at home and in peace. Pizza Girl stopped me though, handing me a takeout bag with another slice, garlic dip, and a cookie. She said it was both an apology for having to deal with Karen and a thank you for being one of their nicer regulars. Still puts a smile on my face, and this was yesterday. On my way out though, I heard Karen demanding a free pizza. I hope those guys turned out okay. The second story is, Karen wanted me to ring her up while I was in sweatpants. K equals Karen, M equals me, MG equals manager, CW equals coworker. A little background before I start. I used to work for a popular makeup store where the employees all wear black. My manager would send me and another coworker to other stores to help out with things like training, inventory, and organization, because we were good at it. One particular location, we found out during an inventory, hadn't set planograms for over 8 months and was just keeping new products in the back room in boxes. If you don't know what a planogram is, it's the layout of the shelves, hooks, and product. This was a big job for us. Essentially, the whole store was out of date, and we had to reset the whole thing. Mostly, we would go out there after close or super early in the morning and work until people came back to the store or they opened. It was about an hour drive for us, but we didn't mind because it was good money. The staff there told us to just come in comfy or street clothes so we could just focus and get the job done. One day, they asked us to come early because the manager there would not be able to stay as late as usual, which was fine for us. I showed up in some gray sweatpants and an anime t-shirt and started working right away. Close to closing, there was a huge line up front, all hands on deck at the register situation, and a nice lady came up to me and asked my opinion on a moisturizer. I had no issues helping her, she was being nice, and even apologized after she noticed the sweatpants. I even walked her up to the register line and started walking away, when I heard the sound of an angered Karen. Karen, excuse me, why aren't you on the registers too? Me, oh sorry ma'am, I don't actually work here. I tried to explain, but she wasn't having it. Karen, I've seen you stalking shelves. Get up there and help ring right now. I'm running late. Me, I'm sorry ma'am, I really don't have the ability to run registers even if I wanted to. She cut me off. Karen, no, don't lie to me again, just run the registers. I wasn't lying. The issue is I was not trained for, nor did I have the credentials to run registers at this store. I realized I was getting nowhere and just shrugged and walked back to my project. She would be gone soon, right? Wrong. Soon I see the familiar soccer mom haircut bounding its way to me with the manager in tow. Karen, her! It was her who ignored me. What kind of company is this that allows employees to wear sweatpants while they're working? Me and the manager exchanged looks. Both of us had about enough of it. Manager, ma'am, that's a member of the project team. She doesn't work here. This enraged Karen even more. Karen, project team? I don't see how sitting on your lazy A is a project. I want to talk to your manager. She pointed at me. I realized this wasn't going to end anytime soon, so I stood up. Me, okay, go right on ahead. If you want to make the drive to, insert name of city that's an hour drive away here, be my guest. Karen, no, I want to speak with them now. Me, well, she isn't here. Can I take a message? At this point, the store was closed and she was making a racket, so other customers were sticking around to see how it ended. Manager, ma'am, I'm sorry, our store is closed. If you would like, I can give you our corporate number. You can bring it up there. Karen, no, I want to take care of this right now. This stupid little bee has made me late. Manager, ma'am, if you don't leave, I'm going to call the authorities and charge trespassing. Karen, go right effing head. I'm already late. I'll wait all night. The manager had ran away to go call the cops. Now, my coworker must have either seen this or taken her headphones out long enough to hear some commotion, because she came over too. Coworker, what's going on here? Karen, finally, your manager. My coworker clearly hadn't heard all of what happened because she just gave me a confused look. Coworker, what? Oh, I'm sorry, we don't actually work here. We're just on the project team. I don't know if this was just the last straw for Karen or if maybe she realized the police were at the door. This was a big shopping center in a rich neighborhood. Security and cops just kind of hung around because she sank to the ground and started throwing a tantrum, like a full-on crying, flailing, wailing tantrum. I just walked away and let them carry her out. She got a warning and was told to never come back to that location. Me and my coworker decided it was probably best to avoid going in the store when there were people in it. I never had any issue with customers again while on the project team. Rats, on the other hand, is a completely different story. The third story is, woman thinks I am an Uber. I am not. On mobile, English not first language, too long didn't read at the bottom, you know the drill. So this happened in a country where English is not the official language, and Uber or a service like it is not operating there. I was visiting a friend in another town. When it was time to go back home, I offered to drop him off at a train station so he can go to work his late shift. So I drop him off, and as I don't know this place, I sit in my car and start Google Maps on my phone to take me out of this town. Suddenly, I hear my back door being opened. I assume my friend forgot something in the car, so I ask without turning around, "Na, hast was Ferguson?" German, as we speak German. An angry voice shouts back, "I don't effing speak German. Speak English if you want to make business. Now stop being rude and take me to address." I take a moment to process what is happening, and then I say, "I'm no taxi, sorry. Would you please get out of my car now?" She is having none of it and shouts, "Of course you're not a taxi, you're an Uber. I saw this guy getting out of this car and you're on your phone. Now take me to address or I will make sure you won't get any more customers." Now my initial shock faded away, and I realize there's a woman I don't know in my car, which is not a good thing. So I start calm and becoming more and more aggressive, I say, "Woman, I am no Uber. Now get the F out of my car or I will call the police." She looks at me puzzled, opens the door, and I am happy she leaves. What I didn't see coming was her reaction. I still have to enter my destination to Google Maps. Luckily, I had the idea to lock the doors of my car before that. Because while I was fiddling with my phone, she must have seen this. She comes to my driver window and screams, "I know you're an Uber, you effing liar. Now tell me your name and I'll make you get banned." Then she pulls the handle, realizes it's locked. She spits on my window and, still screaming, proceeds to smash her handbag on my hood. At this point, I was done with her. My car may not be of value, but this bee will not smack it and add more dents to it. I was about to get out of my car when I saw 2 police officers leave the train station. So I just honked. This made this stupid woman more aggressive, but it also made the police officers aware of the situation. They run to my car, one detaining this woman, one coming to my window to ask what was going on. This was when this woman made her mistake. While being grabbed by one of the officers, she screamed, "Oh, what the F do you want now? I'm being arrested because he won't take me to my hotel? Oh, kill me already!" Well, now she was clearly not in her right mind and vocalized to be killed. What happened next may be in part to the mediocre knowledge of the English language of these older German police officers. They must have mainly understood the kill me part and saw the actions of this woman. After they talked to me, and I explained them what happened, and that I don't know this maniac, they came to the conclusion she was nuts. So they decided to send her to a psychiatric hospital. Now I know she was probably released the next day if no judge decided she has to stay longer. But even thinking about this woman having to stay just one night in the psych ward left me giggling the whole 2-hour drive back home. Thanks for listening. Bye.